Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Canadian Shield. My name is Sterling. I'm your host. Justin Trudeau made an announcement today about tariffs, and he said a whole bunch of stuff that he is hoping going to give him votes. On the one hand, they support big business, but on the other hand, they support labor. Their actions don't indicate that they support labor in any way when it comes to temporary foreign workers or when it comes to breaking the unions or breaking the strike. But you know how it is with the Liberal Party. They just want to say one thing and they want to do another, and they hope that because they have the media firmly in their pocket, they don't ever get called out on it. Today, however, one of the members of the media came forward and sort of gave Justin Trudeau the hard questions about him stepping down as leader of the Liberal Party so that someone else can come in and take his place and perhaps, start to bring the Liberal Party back to its former glory of where people might consider voting for it, as opposed to the way it looks now. And I just love the fact that she hammered him and he didn't even see it coming. However, before I get into it, I would encourage you to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this channel with all of your socials. Now, when you hit the notification bell, my videos will go right into your feed. So when I upload one, it'll be there for you to watch. But when you hit the thumb up, well, it convinces the algorithm to share it with people who may not have heard of me or who may not have me coming into their feed on a regular basis, but will have content that is similar. So this can help me overcome the algorithmic issues that may be occurring due to Bill C-18 or Bill C-11. So Trudeau addressed the press, and he was talking. He covered every subject that he feels that the voters are worried about, and then he took his opportunity to slide in how, your rent is through the roof and you're flat broke and you can't find a good paying job and you can't find anybody to date and you're having all of these concerns and all of these issues. But he assures you that $10 a day daycare and dental for seniors is going to solve all of your problems. One of the reporters, because he's used to having his way with his reporters, but one of the reporters come right at him and she asked him a question that I don't think he was prepared for, but the follow-up question he certainly wasn't prepared for. And I'm going to let you listen to it, and then I'm going to give you my 2 cents.
You say that you plan to stay on despite persistently bad polling, despite the by-election loss in Toronto that your party lost for the first time in 3 decades because you want to continue to deliver. Isn't that what Joe Biden insisted on?
Listen, we are focused on being there for Canadians. We're focused on stepping up on support and investments that are going to leave Canadians better off for the coming years and indeed decades. Canada has built one of the strongest economies in the G7, in the world right now, because we've been there to invest in the middle class and people working hard to join it. We've been delivering on programs that have made a real difference in Canadians' lives. And right now, as people are facing challenges, we are setting the best balance sheet in the G7 to work for Canadians with $10 a day childcare spaces that allow families to go back to work, that allow people confidence that their kids are going to be well supported on their way into years of schooling. School food programs, dental programs that make a real difference in the daily lives of Canadians. These are things that actually meet the needs of the challenges Canadians are facing right now. And that's what we're focused on delivering right now and into the coming years.
But sir, you just made the Joe Biden argument that his record justifies him staying. The electorate is saying they don't want you. They want change. Your polling personally is worse than your party's.
I spent the summer talking with Canadians, and people's focus is on getting the support they need for their kids, for their future. They want to see a strong future for Canadians. They want to see opportunities for their kids. That's what we're working on every single day to deliver. That's what I'm focused on. That's what I'm excited about. And that's why we're going to go into this next election putting a very clear choice for Canadians. But we're still a year plus away from the election. I'm focused on making sure we're delivering through that election the kinds of things that Canadians need. That's what we're here for.
Well, that was pretty cut and dry, that he said his pre-approved speech that he had memorized and he practiced in front of his mirror this morning. And she just called him out for being exactly the way that Joe Biden addressed the population, which was probably a little bit of homework she should have done, because I watched 3 or 4 of these now, and they have made reference to the Americans so many times. Even in this particular speech, press release, Trudeau mentions the security advisor from the United States like 5 times, because he has to appeal to authority. And in his mind, that guy's impressive, right? I really don't care, but he does. Now, when you say in your mind, oh, is the press turning on him? That's not what that's what it could look like it, but it's not it, in my opinion. What I believe is that this girl is a hardcore liberal, And I like, as any far left, she's obsessed with the United States of America. She's completely consumed with somehow finding that balance between removing everybody's freedom and still having a capitalist dream. So when she sees that Harris's numbers are up through the roof, it looks as though Kamala Harris has made this gigantic gain on Trump, because now all of a sudden the female vote is in play, and there's a whole bunch of things that are going on. So this reporter, in her mind, is like, okay, let's get Trudeau out of the way, and then we'll put somebody in there that will revitalize the liberal vote, and everyone will all of a sudden vote for the liberals again. Now, there's 2 problems with that, of course. The first problem being we're not Americans. We have more than just 2 parties to vote for. There's actually 3 problems now that I think about it. The second major problem is that if Trudeau steps aside, it doesn't matter. The next 5 people that might get put in front of the Liberal Party, nobody's going to vote for it. There's not a single Liberal individual that is in the caucus that anybody cares about. Nobody likes Guilbeault. Certainly they don't like Freeland. They don't want to talk about the Treasury president. I mean, there's nobody. Run it through your head. Who would they put up? The entire caucus is burned. They have all committed the same crimes against the Canadian people. There's no arguing with the numbers. And of course, speaking of the numbers, she's like, oh, your polls are worse than the Liberals, which is true. I mean, I believe last time I looked, he's like a 13 or a 14 or something. Now, everybody knows, frequent viewers of this channel know my opinion on polls and how they can be very misleading. But of course, this person won't know that, right? The person will think that Trudeau will step aside and they'll put, I don't know, let's say Freeland or whatever. In her mind, it's this vision of the United States all over again, where people are all of a sudden just going to flock over to the next liberal that's in charge. Of course, she forgets to realize that the liberal numbers are really bad, and in some places lower than they're in 3rd, 4th place. Like in Quebec, they're in 3rd, right? So she doesn't really want to understand that the Liberal government is currently a minority that's propped up by the NDP. The same can't be said for the Democratic Party in the United States. There's only 2 groups there. And the Democratic Party doesn't really control the entire government, just like the Liberal Party. But I don't think that any of that occurs to her. I don't think that they look that deep. I think they just get their popcorn out, they watch the drama, and they just desperately, it's so bad that she should just go cover the news in the United States. Should just go there and become an American. These are Canadian issues that we need to be talking about. I don't care about the security minister from the United States of America. None of that stuff is going to have an impact on my vote. As for Trudeau telling you that dental care and baby daycare is what makes the difference in how hungry you are, or how high your rent is, or how you're living with your 30-year-old because they can't afford to pay rent, or how your children are going hungry, and that somehow he's going to turn the schools into this Soviet-style Ceausescu 85-mile long picnic table, everybody eating oatmeal. I mean, the institutionalization of your children should be something that concerns you. If you really want to see what it looks like, you can just look at 1920s Italy. Anyway, that's a different video. This one, I just wanted to show you how he didn't see it coming. And I think that's really funny. because now they're starting to turn on each other, which is, the way that it always happens. All right, I'm going to wrap here. I want to thank y'all for listening. I'll talk to you next time.